Okay, so welcome to the presentation about Swarm City. I'm Bernd. I live in Swarm City. Is there any other residents here from Swarm City? Anybody that has an account with Swarm City? Oh, very good. I'll shake your hands later on. So that's great. After this talk, I hope that everyone here has an account on Swarm City because you can use it live. And I'll explain to you what it is, because that's the question you probably have. What is Swarm City? So first of all, my definition is Swarm City will be a unicorn. Today, you say a unicorn is a company that is valued at $1 billion. In the future, this will not hold anymore. There will be a different valuation of companies, of products actually. It won't be companies anymore. It will be products that have a community of a lot of people, maybe a billion people. And they create value and they own this product actually. It's a self-owned product by the community. It's decentralized and it's autonomous. And since it's open source and on the blockchain, it can be used by anyone. And it can be added by anyone and governed by the community. So this is the vision we have for Swarm City. And that's what we're building right now. And this is the vision that many products that use the blockchain technology today have. They want to create something that is sustainable and that is governed by many people. So it's not centralized, it's really truly decentralized. Ooh, that was too quick. Or it just underlines what I was just saying, actually. So, but maybe a video will help you to explain better what I just told you, or actually explains much better what Swarm City is.
Swarm City is a decentralized commerce platform. What that means is this. You need to have two things in place for commerce to happen: the ability to communicate and the ability to transact. In the physical world, commerce is transparent. Think about it. You're in a store. You search for and see an item you want to buy. You can touch it, pick it up, and verify its quality and integrity. And when you're ready to purchase it, you bring it up to the proprietor. You pay in cash so they can physically take your payment. The entire transaction is out in the open where both parties can see it. But we live in an internet world where commerce happens virtually between parties who may live in the same city or across the ocean. Oftentimes transactions are no longer in person, so in order to create safe places for people to transact, commerce platforms were born. Retail platforms like Amazon or service platforms like Uber built monolithic infrastructures to keep us safe while we communicate value. But security has a cost. Centralized institutions like those solve problems by creating layers of administration that end up being paid for by fees charged to the people transacting. Some platforms charge upwards of 25% per transaction to pay for all that administration. And that ends up coming out of the pockets of the people who are creating value in the first place. For without buyers and sellers, or service seekers and providers, there would be no expression of value at all. And that's where Swarm City comes in. Swarm City uses blockchain technology and Ethereum smart contracts to solve the security and transparency issue in a decentralized way, without needing third parties or layers of costly administration. It's a peer-to-peer platform powered by the Swarm City token. Swarm City allows communities to keep more of their value. The less value extracted from a transaction to cover administration, the more value can stay within the community who creates it. Swarm City is being introduced to the world in 3 stages: terminal, boardwalk, and storefront. The terminal is where new users enter the city and create a profile and wallet. Terminal gives users the ability to transact. Then, boardwalk introduces the way users communicate in Swarm City by hashtags. Hashtags are the context we transact in. For instance, drivers and riders might use hashtag need a ride to find each other in a rideshare context. Or hashtag contractor to connect electricians with homeowners with electrical problems. A hashtag can be any type of commerce you can imagine. The last addition is storefronts, which are graphic user interfaces, or GUIs, that make transacting over a hashtag even more specific and user-friendly. Once these 3 stages are complete, you will have all the tools needed to help build our thriving city. Swarm City, empowering decentralized commerce by giving the world the ability to communicate and transact without third parties in between.
Okay, so good explanation, I think, about what we're doing. So we're creating a decentralized marketplace, commerce, and right now we're building the platform. So we're building a platform to communicate and transact. That's what just described in the video again. So the, ooh, that's the wrong one. Now we got it. So what kind of products can you create on Swarm City on the platform? Well, just about anything that is commerce, because you can create products that cover mobility services like Uber and Lyft, or you can create job platforms like freelancer platforms, or you can do just money transfers. Loans could be given through the platform. It's a buy and sell platform as well for any goods that you want to buy and sell. This is actually the use case that is being used right now mostly in the stage we're at this moment, and I will show you later on what this looks like. And then you can also have like Airbnb on top of the platform. We call it Swarm BNB, and there's already some people building this. So it's very interesting what you can build. And actually, the platform itself is mainly the entrance to the blockchain. So we allow people to build their own products on top of this platform, and they don't have to worry about the blockchain itself. They don't have to understand it. We already create this platform which connects to the blockchain. And I'll explain this in a minute. But why do we need the blockchain actually? Why isn't Uber, or why are these systems not sufficient as they are? Well, actually, they are great. They are great services. They're building great user interfaces for the services that they provide, but they've sort of overdone it. They've exaggerated on their service that they provide, and the blockchain technology that we use eliminates some of these providers that are in this some of these intermediaries. And it also reduces some of the intermediaries that you don't want to totally eliminate. What it does eliminate is the bank. We don't need a bank account to work in Swarm City or in any blockchain application. So you just have your Ethereum address, and you can send and receive tokens through this address. So we eliminate the bank. Uber, as an example, we will reduce Uber. We will not eliminate Uber, because Uber has a good service that it provides. It connects people. It gives people, a rider and a driver, a marketplace where they can transact on. And this is what we do as well. So this is what we provide, but to the very, very basic form of transacting communication. Everything else is sort of peer-to-peer. It's really done. The business structure is done by the person owning the good and the person wanting the service or using the service. So at the end, we have a true peer-to-peer platform, which other services don't allow. And smart contracts, the smart contract system we put in place, replace business logic and business processes that you need. For example, an escrow. So the technologically, or the architecture, our tech stack, so to speak, consists of the Ethereum blockchain to the left. Then you have, this is for transactions. This is the wallet we have, for example. Then you have IPFS, the interplanetary file system. This is our data storage. It's totally decentralized. It doesn't run through one server. It's completely decentralized as well. So information is not stored on any part that Swarm City owns or is affiliated with them. And then there's a cool feature that the Ethereum blockchain integrates. It's called Whisper. Has anybody heard about Whisper? Okay, very few. So Whisper is a communication channel, so to speak, a way to communicate between two devices. And we're using this to create a channel between two devices, two telephones, for example, or your laptop and a telephone. And people can communicate through this device, through this channel, from device to device, and no one else can interfere with that. No one can sort of say shut this down or say no, you cannot communicate with this person in China, for example. So Whisper is really a great tool within the Ethereum blockchain. It's already integrated, and a lot of projects that are being built now are using this as well. So what we do, actually, we just built the yellow part. This is the platform. This is the smart contract system that we built. And this is interacting with Whisper, with IPFS, and the Ethereum blockchain itself. And it allows you, it's like an API, we call it, or it's actually an ABI, because it's binary. So you connect your products through the smart contract system to the blockchain. So actually, if you want to build your own product on top of this platform, you just need to have JavaScript knowledge or just know how to build an app or a website. Nothing more. And you can use the platform for the business logic itself. And you can see there's many ideas from our side already that what we will create, or people have already looked into this and are creating services on top of the platform. And just to explain maybe one of the smart contracts that we're using, and this is this is not a showcase or nothing we've sort of designed, but we're using exactly this escrow. This is a good way to describe it. This is from Christian from the Ethereum Foundation. So actually, you have to see the driver is on the left. If we take ride sharing as an example, the driver would be on the left side, the rider, the passenger, would be on the right side. When they go into a deal, both sides have to pay into the escrow. So both sides commit to the deal. It's like putting a stake in. And when I'll just walk up here maybe. So if one tank is filled up, there's this signaling thing up there that it gives a signal to this valve and says you can open now. So one is connected to this and opens it when it's full. And only if the other side is full as well, then the tokens are all in this big tank here. So only if both sides agree to the deal and have put in their stake, then the money is into this contract itself. And before that, before both valves are not open, any side can abort, can say, no, I'll cancel the deal. And both sides receive their money back. If both have put in their stake and the money is in a big tank, then the passenger can release the payment if the ride was successful, or the driver can sort of release if the ride never happened, and both sides get their share back. So if the passenger releases and this valve opens, then the whole tank goes to the driver. He receives his stake back plus the additional stake. So this is, I think, a good example of how you can look at smart contracts. And you can later on, this is the smart contract we're using right now today in Swarm City, but later on, depending on the product, it can be different sizes of stakes that are being put in. So if you use Swarm BNB and I rent out my apartment for 500 Swarm City tokens, let's say, maybe I don't want to put 500 Swarm City tokens in there. And it's pretty clear that my apartment won't go away. You know, it's very physical. So it might be a different escrow, but the system, the logic behind it will be the same. Let me just show you what Pioneer is our first product that we have on Swarm City, on a live product. So if you go to swarm.city today, and you can do this right here now, you will see the first hashtag, and that's called Pioneer. And we'll look at this later, but I'll show you right now how you can use this. So when you open up, you see your own account, you see the amount of Swarm City tokens you have, and there's a filter set for the range where you can see offers. You can put a range in because maybe some services you don't want to see everyone in the world offering this. So now it's set to 40 kilometers, and this person is trying to get a ride from Fresno State University to the mall. And he puts in two Swarm City tokens. So the requester defines the amount he wants to put in for this ride. If someone accepts, then it seems that it's a market price, that somebody wants to do this. And here you can see that there's a small indicator that somebody responded. And then you can look at the response, and one person says, yes, I'm 2 minutes away. Now the passenger has, in this case, the passenger has said, I accept Amanda, and Amanda has to also accept the passenger again. And then before the payout, they can communicate. This is done through Whisper, all of this now. And then whatever deal they do, now it's ride sharing, as I said before, but you can communicate on any information, like a shipping address or anything. At the end, this person says, yes, I want to pay out. And he's asked again, just to make sure. And then the payout is done. And this is the whole deal. That's what you can do today on Swarm City. Now, probably you're interested also in the business model. How do we generate revenue? First of all, the platform does not generate any revenue. The platform only costs gas for the transactions. So if you use the platform, you have to pay gas, the Ethereum value, or do you know what gas is? Sorry, should I explain that? Okay. So gas is used for the transactions on the Ethereum platform. And definitely, as we use the Ethereum platform, we need to pay for gas as well. So people have to, by using the platform, they have to pay for gas. But this is nothing that the platform or anyone other than the miners receive at the end. But the business model happens in the hashtag itself. So the hashtag is owned by a person. One person says, I want to create need a ride, for example. Or in this case, it's DevOps. So we want to have developers create things for us. And this hashtag owner is responsible for the marketplace. He's like Uber or Lyft or Airbnb. But he's very limited and very reduced in his services. And the most interesting difference is that we define a fee, a fixed price as a fee. So it's not a percentage on the amount that people are transacting, because that's not relevant, because the cost of the transaction is always the same. So the person who owns the hashtag, and this can be anyone can create a hashtag, he defines the amount of Swarm City tokens as a fee that he will take of every transaction. Now with the smart contracts, it's great because we can even distribute this in a smaller amount. So if this hashtag has like a person doing support, giving support, or a person giving this conflict resolution, then these people can be rewarded for this as well. They can be part of this hashtag fee that they receive. So this is defined by the hashtag maintainer. He defines this person gets X percentage of the fixed fee that we receive. And at the end, this hashtag is created and can be live and can be used. So this will be our next step that we will put live in a few weeks, or weeks we say, because it's unclear if it's months or weeks. So we're not very specific on the time frame, but this is the next step we will release, that everyone can create his own hashtag. Now these hashtags don't have a nice user interface yet. And this will be the third level that we create, is what we call storefront. So if somebody creates an hashtag on need a ride, which would be mobility, so to speak, somebody could create a mobility storefront, which means it's like WordPress. You create a template. You create like plugins that people can use. And then I can create with these plugins, or I can just create my own app if I'm proficient in coding. I can create the user interface for my hashtag. And then I can sort of promote it and get users onto it. and then they will use it, and through every transaction I will receive the fees. And I'm responsible then for maintaining this. And at the end you have your own URL. It's all, first of all, it's based on swarm.city is the main URL, but you have your own URL to promote this as well. But if you're interested, we can just go live to swarm.city now. Did anybody try it? Yeah? Okay. We have more than one person now onboarded already. Let me just see how we can do this. Okay, so this is the website as it looks. It's just swarm.city, and then you see this. You say enter here, and it says you must be new here, and B is from Swarm. It's not a mistake. It's not a so. And then you can say create new user, or if you have a backup already restored and you just logged out or want to create your profile on a new device, you can restore it from a backup file, and I will show you this later on as well. So we say create a new user, and now this is a page that this is sort of a legacy page that we have, because we evolved from a project called Arcade City and moved into Swarm City, and we changed the token. We had a token sale last year in November, and token offering, or I don't know what the right term is, but we had
Token generating event.
Yes, exactly, token generating event. Great, and it was a great event. So we distributed our token, and we had to change the token name and the token structure to make it more versatile for us. So at the end we say no, we don't have any. And then now it's the first thing is we have to create a password. So I'll just do that. And then I repeat it. And this password is stored locally. So this is never leaving the device, and it is important that we sort of back up later on. So okay, now it's creating a wallet. Oh, it's got me on there already. No. So this is the first page. Now I can change my avatar picture, or I can change my nickname. Just say Deloitte. Okay. I will change this later on. No worries. Here's my public address, so I can see my public address here as well, which most of the times I don't need it, but sometimes I could use it to maybe put Ether on this wallet as well, for example. And I can even show my private key, and I'll do this now because I will sort of kill this user later on anyways. But what you can do is you can print this and you have a paper wallet. So you can easily do it this way. But you can also create a backup on the, let's do this now. We'll create a backup. And now we have the option to do a backup to IPFS. So this is great because then I can use it on any other device. It's not stored locally, it's stored on IPFS. And I can even learn more about IPFS if I want to. And this creates a hash. So the information I put into my avatar, my username and everything is combined together in a hash. And this hash is stored. So every time I open up this swarm.city again in the future, and I want to restore from a backup, I just put in this IPFS hash and my password, and then I'm restored again. And I can mail this to me if I want to. So now let's go back. So now we have, this is Pioneer, this is the hashtag, the first and only hashtag right now. In the future there will be more hashtags lined up down here. So if I create or look at this right now, I have to enable, how do you say, location, how do you say that? That people or that the computer can see where I am.
Perhaps location service. Just
a
few comments what Pioneer is. I couldn't understand.
Pioneer is
Swarm BNB.
Yes. So actually, Swarm BNB and Pioneer are products on Swarm.city. Now we've created Pioneer because it's the MVP. We want to show just how it works. It doesn't have a specific use case. So, and we're all pioneers if we use it. So it's the first thing we do, you know. And it's, if you take like Swarm City as a city that we built, now we're pioneers sailing over the sea to a new continent maybe, and then we'll build Swarm City all together on this new continent. So this is what we are right now. We are pioneers. And I can do anything in here. I can request anything I want in here. So I can say I need a ride, or I would like to have a beer, or whatever. And then I put the amount that I would like to offer for this service that I see is a good fee to pay for it. And if I then now I cannot send this because I don't have any Swarm City tokens, but later on I can send this, and I'll show you in a minute. But there's more info. Maybe interesting is, so here is the info about who's maintaining it. So this is the address that is collecting the fee, and this is the fee that is being collected. So right now we just put in a very, very small fee because we want people to use it. And actually this fee is collected from both sides. So the person requesting will pay half of the fee, and the person providing the service pays the other half of the fee. But you can also find support in here, and you can find a link to our Slack, which is our main communication tool. So let me just maybe do this. Is somebody online with his account right now? Good. Okay. I'll just delete this user and put my own user in there. Okay. No. Remove this user. So now he's removed. Now I restore from IPFS. There's also a backup file that I can use. I don't know why it wasn't shown before, but so I put in my IPFS hash. Then it shows already my avatar. Let me just find my password. I have a very nice, long, complicated password for sure. Okay, so this is my account now, and this is a real account. I have Swarm City tokens in there, and I also need Ether in there. That's something that is not shown in the user interface, and in the future we will have a different solution for this. But you need Ether because every transaction on the Ethereum blockchain needs gas. So a small amount like 0.01 Ether is enough to make many transactions in this regards.
Even though I cannot buy or try to get a service paying with any other currency beside Swarm City token.
Yes, that is the main purpose of the token, is to be the transacting token. So you can only transact on behalf of this token, but you can use Changelly or Shapeshift to convert any cryptocurrency into the token. So that's pretty easy to do. And there's exchanges where you can actually buy the token as well through BTC, or Changelly offers a service to buy through US dollars as well. So what I would like to show you now is, so we have a user here who has an account, and if you click on the number of Swarm City tokens you have, it shows this screen, and I can send Swarm City tokens, or I can receive. Receive is what we mean by short code. So if you give me your short code, I can volunteer to get the points. Yes, sure, I'll do that. So if you give me a short code, I'll put in, let's say, 5 Swarm City tokens. That's almost $10.
Do you want me to read it out?
Yes, please.
95
238.
238.
Okay. So now we're opening a channel, a whisper channel between two devices. So this number just indicated the other device. I just put in the telephone number or the account number of the other device. So now we see, oh, we have Satoshi here. Wow. I didn't know that. So maybe you should pay me. I think you have some Bitcoins. Great. So I can send you the 5 Swarm City tokens, and you've seen there's no public address or anything needed. There's no Ethereum address that we had to type in, because we think that it needs to be user friendly. So now I can just send it, and this is a regular transaction, and it will show. I don't want to have this. It will show a transaction hash in a minute, and I can show you even who knows how to read transactions on what tools. Anybody?
Well, depends on the blockchain on Etherscan.
Yeah, sorry, the Ethereum blockchain. There's 2 pretty amazing tools. Yes.
Yeah, Etherscan is one of them.
Etherscan is one of them, exactly, and Ethplore is the other one. And Ethplore is very interesting because it shows any Ethereum tokens on it. Etherscan, you have to sort of delve or go a bit deeper into the interface. Takes a minute now, okay. But with Ethplore, you can actually see the tokens itself as well. So let me just see. I don't close the screen. Very good. No, I cannot close the screen. But I can do some tricks, I guess. And I can say, okay, this Swarm City token. And maybe I see the transaction right now for the token itself. Maybe that's quicker. Okay. So these are the transfers that have happened in the last, day or 2. But I don't see it yet. Oh, this takes a long. But we're so close. I don't get it. Why does it take so long? I don't know. Maybe it's the network is not so good. Do you have any tokens on your wallet yet?
I don't.
Okay.
Let me refresh them.
No, it's
Waiting for confirmation.
no, don't do anything. That's how it is if you try live, you know. Okay, I think I'll just
It doesn't matter. It's not about the payment. It's about the service.
exactly. The money doesn't. The currency doesn't matter. Let's look into Pioneer now. So maybe it didn't work. I don't know. We'll see later on if you received tokens. So if I look at it now, there is like somebody can be used a Livestream Crypto Investors. So people are watching us right now. So there's somebody offering 1 Swarm City 0.1 Swarm City token, and there's a speaker being sold. But let me just put in one request. Need a beer, okay? Because it's pretty dry up here. And I'm generous. I'll put in 2 Swarm City tokens. Let's see. So now this is published to the network, and people should be able to see this. Maybe the live stream and everything is taking too much bandwidth. So now what happens now is that actually I put in my 2 Swarm City tokens in the escrow already. So the escrow that we saw before is being filled up now. And when somebody accepts my offer, then puts in accepts my offer actually, then he puts in his amount. But this takes too long now. I'm sorry for that. It must be the Wi-Fi. It cannot be our product. So.
Must be your wife. Must be a hot ICO running. Must be a hot ICO running. Right?
Yeah, that could be. I didn't check that. Yeah. No. So, but that is the whole deal right now. So you can make requests on the platform. You can answer to requests, and this is sort of the, as I said before, the MVP, so the minimum viable product. We're showing that it's working. Maybe not today. Okay, sorry for that. But so it's it does the transaction and communication. That's what it does right now. And if people react to it, then the deal is done. And as I said before, the next step will be the release of hashtags that people can create their own hashtag. It will be the same user interface for now. So it's not much different, but it already categorizes certain use cases. So people will be able to find, buy and sell things easier, or ride sharing could be already created, Swarm BNB. Now it's in one hashtag, so it's pretty mixed up. So maybe I can tell you something about the team real quick, just as a roundup. So we have a core team that worked on this project full-time since November last year. Oh, great, my beer.
With the payment later.
Yes, I have my beer. Very good. That's trustless, so to speak. Yeah. Great. So the team is consistent of people that live around the globe. So we have people in Belgium. I come from Switzerland, from Zug, which you heard a lot about today. Yay. If anybody wants to come to Zug, let me know. I'll help you. There's people in the US as well. So, and we have a huge community. So these are just the people that are sort of maintaining the platform right now and creating the platform right now, but there's a huge community of people already accessing it, using it, promoting it, and so these are just a few people spearheading this. And if you want to get in contact with us, please do so. There's a website, This is Swarm City, explains everything about Swarm City itself. Then you can see our blogs and updates on press.swarm.city. And you can tweet with us on Swarm City DApp. Our Slack account is very, very active. Unfortunately, and you should be aware of this, Slack is being attacked by a lot of phishing people that try to phish your accounts. So what we do is we limit the access to our Slack, and other Slacks will do this as well. So you have to send a support or an email to support@swarm.city for an invite to our Slack. Because we had a lot of ICOs, we've seen a lot of ICOs that received mails or information where people should send in their public address or even a private keys to change something. It looked like very official information from the Slack itself, but it was people from outside hacking it. So we're very restrictive on who to access our Slack, but we have almost 1,800 people in our Slack, so it's very active, very lively. And most important is you can see our code on GitHub. It's open source, you can contribute to it. If you see any bugs in the interface right now, you can put them into our repo there. So this is it. Any questions? Yes?
I have two questions. The first is how do you regulate the names of the hashtags? Is there any limitation that you want to impose for branding?
No, right now we don't have any limitations. So it's basically the usage of the hashtag will define if it's being shown or if it's up in the list or not. So if there's 5 hashtags, need to write 1, need to write 2, need to write 3, one of them will be used. So
the second thing is services with fixed price. Do you want to handle this and with a floating value of your currency?
that's what users have to sort of get used to. I mean, this will happen to any cryptocurrency project, is that you have a volatile token, and we do show the US dollar value. Right now we will show other currencies as well. When you go onto the amount of tokens that you hold, you will see the equivalent in your local currency, so to speak. But in the instance of the transaction, you can judge on what the value is. If a transaction takes longer, if you have a request that is like 4 or 5 days long, you have to sort of adapt to the volatility. That's something we cannot, right now we cannot solve this. Yes?
Yes, no, congratulations, very nice idea. Just try to make a very intuitive example. If I want to offer my bedroom tonight, like I do at Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
I think I understood the peer-to-peer way of offering that. But do you think you're gonna have to offer functions for intermediaries? So if I think that I can offer my bedroom tonight, but if I'm a very greedy guy and I want to make a business of that, the competitor of Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
and start offering all those bedrooms of the people sitting here, and defining rules and defining content to make a business out of that, and not doing this private thing or only offering my bedroom. If it's something you're going to offer in the future.
I didn't really get the question.
Functions for intermediaries.
So if
your offer, of course, I wouldn't need.
Oh yes.
Airbnb
Okay.
anymore.
Yes. So
As my business idea grows,
sure.
I want to make much
Yes.
much more out of that using your platform.
This will evolve, so to speak, and we have a term for it. We call it the hive. So there will be groups of people might join together, come together as a group. Let's take the ride sharing is a pretty good example. You have like yellow taxis, you have green taxis, you have blue taxis. So there's many cab or taxi offerings, and these are organized. Like all the yellow taxis have certain rules that they play with or work with. So this is possible within Swarm City as well. So you have the hashtag, which is sort of the marketplace, which defines the marketplace. And then you have players, individuals, like one person offers a ride or his car, but then you have organized groups that offer a service, and they need to sort of provide a different quality maybe, or they provide a service because they all drive a BMW or anything that sort of differentiates them, and they might have like more insurance or different services as a group. But the person.
You always need the offering party to be part of this group. So I cannot be a broker and say I will adopt all bedrooms from this room tonight, and making a offer, a joint offer of many rooms here, being an intermediary.
But this is, yes, I understand what you're saying, but to me it doesn't make any sense, because then you would
stop being an intermediary or the new Airbnb on your platform.
Yes, but this would be the hashtag. So the hashtag owner would be the one that creates the marketplace,
Okay.
the offering. But he's not responsible for the apartments itself.
Okay.
So he would just create the marketplace that they use, and that's most important, is the user interface, and he will do marketing and support these things. That's what I mean with we are reducing the intermediary to the core competencies he should have. He shouldn't own the business. The business is the one that owns the product and the one that wants to receive the product. Those two should have the business. But there's sort of the service provider is the one that keeps this marketplace clean and makes a good offering overall, a nice user interface, and gets user into this.
Perhaps just a last comment.
Yeah, sure.
I think many things are very interesting. What I don't like so much, and perhaps you say that you were on Ethereum and you have to pay the gas, or someone has to pay the gas. And of course, I don't like the idea of being on a platform and have to hold the Swarm City tokens. For me, Bitcoin is the main payment method that I would be willing to pay. We are happy to see Ethereum or Bitcoin on the platform, so that you get your gas for offering that, but not. I think the fact that I have to have your tokens makes that more sex appealing for me.
Okay, I think there's a shift will come, that now we have currencies that are sort of regionally bound. You have the euro for the European Union, you have the Swiss franc for Switzerland, British pound, and so forth. In the future, this will be products. Products will have currencies, and you will need these currencies for each product, and it will be different for every product. And the main reason, for us at least, the main reason is we're open source. We're an open source product. Everyone can use this code. Everyone can fork the code and create his own product. The same platform, again. Now, the community we have, they're sort of bound through this token to this product. Mainly or also because we are creating reputation. The more transactions you do, the more reputation you get. And this reputation is connected to your token, because it's part of the token. So if another platform is built with our code, then this platform has to decide, do I sort of build my own community because I use Bitcoin? Maybe that's a big community that will use it. But then there's a project like Open Bazaar, maybe, that will already be established in that case. Or do I use the same community and just have the platform with a lower fee, or with, I don't know, with other governance system? This could happen, and he takes the token, which is great, again, because then the same community can use another platform, which is fine. So and this is, I think this is the logic that many products that will be open source in the future will have. That's the main reason they want a token. Vladimir.
I think for every marketplace there's a challenge to create critical mass of supply and demand. So how do you plan to overcome this?
Yeah, that's a very good question. But the simple answer is we already have the demand, because this product was created not because some developers thought this is a great idea and we can do this, but it was a community that said we need a different service than Uber. So the history is that Uber, in a city in the US, Uber stopped their service overnight, and the drivers were out of business from one day to the other. And by this they realized it's not good to be dependent on a centralized service. So they thought, how can we decentralize this? And they started on Facebook first, and they created Facebook groups, which looked like almost this what we have right now. So they were asking and offering rides through Facebook, which is a centralized service again. So it's not sustainable. But through this idea, and this community is pretty huge, the demand grew for a really decentralized ride sharing. Now we've added to this, we've sort of created a platform, because at the end, if you create ride sharing on top of this platform, it's no different than to create Swarm BNB or buy and sell. Because it's always commerce, it's always transaction and communication. Those are the two things you do. So at the end, the decision to create a platform is supporting the ride-sharing idea that the community is asking for. And but you're pretty right. It's hard to generate this momentum that this will take off. And what we do is we definitely reach out to the community that they use this product. And it will help if it differentiates with the hashtags later on. We also have interest from industry. We have companies that look into this, and maybe Deloitte wants to even look into this to see if their partners, if they're sort of companies that they support or consult, maybe want to use this, because it's already, the integration of the blockchain is already done. So you can easily add your own product to it. You can add electricity or the electricity market to it. Through the use of your solar panels, you can distribute it to your neighbors. Automobile industry is looking into it, and then I'm really in contact with some of them to share their cars. And in the future, if you have autonomous driving, then you really have cars that are autonomous, and they will have a wallet themselves. They will be one of the people on swarm.city, so to speak. The object will be an identity on swarm.city. So these are all steps that we're taking. And at the end, the platform itself will, once you grow one tiny part of the platform, when you grow a community there, they can use any other product on the platform as well. So you have sort of a platform, how do you say? Network effect. Yes, thank you. Any more questions? Yes.
Hi. First of all, I want to congratulate you as well. It looks pretty promising and pretty interesting for me. One thing which came to my mind was, how do you overcome the challenge of credibility? Is something which I missed, or?
Whose credibility are you speaking of? The people offering?
For example, in Swarm BNB.
Yes.
If I have a house and for example, I have a room and I want to rent it for today evening, for example, or after a couple of days, I want to rent it in the next 2 days, and I come online and use the hashtag for Swarm BNB, and then I put I want to do this, and then somebody from outside, for example, somebody from Paris is come there and then say, okay, I'm going to come next 2 days, and then all the transaction happens that you explain, okay, and now how will that add up for the next time when I have a room which I want to rent?
You built.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. You build reputation.
I asked this question was all these companies which already exist, like Airbnb, Uber, or they're very specific, very focused on one or two sectors.
Yes.
Right, and more importantly, they bring the credibility of the users. We know what they have done and how much we can trust them based on feedbacks, or some sort of credibility comes with the centralized systems, right? So when you make it decentralized, that's one thing which comes to my mind. How do you take care of credibility?
Well, actually, it's much better in a decentralized system using the blockchain, because you cannot tamper with the information. So what we do right now on the platform, and this is strictly the platform, it's not a service-specific thing. We have reputation tokens. So every transaction I do in a hashtag creates 5 reputation tokens for this context. So for this specific hashtag. If I use, today it's Pioneer only, but if later on, if I use Need a Ride or Swarm BNB, I will have reputation in each of these hashtags that I use. And the amount of reputation I have shows people that I've used it more. So there's no sentiment to it. There's no, I'm a good user, I'm a bad user. There's nothing to it. So this is what we do with the platform. That doesn't mean that the hashtag owner, and this comes down to the user interface again, he could, like the net promoter score that people use or company use. You can add this to your hashtag. And then you have maybe other reputation added to this. And what I haven't explained, because I didn't want to go too specific into details, but the token we use is called Mini-Me token. It's a standard token, but it has additional features to it. So you can add you can clone this token, and you can take or you can create any token from this one token that you're using. So you can add more reputation to it, and this is all stored on the blockchain. You cannot tamper with it. Once somebody says, yes, I would promote this person, then it's stored on the blockchain, and nobody can say, I don't want this to happen, or I want this to be reversed, like with booking.com or these websites. Those things happen. So to me, the reputation is within the blockchain, that it's immutable, or it's temperless.
And also, I'm sorry if I'm disturbing somebody else's question, but again, I'm coming back to the same credibility point, because if I have to use the platform like how you guys are using, and especially for renters, and there's some problem happens in between that, like the quality is not good or some sort. That's what I'm concerned about. So
sure.
If there is something seamless user interface or user experience, probably that will help as a user.
this is you're describing exactly what still is needed in this context. So there's a service provider should do exactly these topics. He should be responsible that users and or service requester and service provider do a good job, both. You know, you want to have a clean apartment when I own the apartment and somebody leaves, I don't want any broken glasses or anything. And the same with the person renting it. He wants to have a clean apartment when he gets to it. If there's a dispute, then you need a third party that resolves that. And that sort of takes care of it. And this is where a service provider comes in. This is where the hashtag owner is responsible for. And this is where, let's say, support or any other instance that you create in this hashtag needs to be integrated so that they can provide the service. But this is exactly why I'm not a fan of saying kill the middleman. You know, blockchain will not kill the middleman. It will reduce it to the max.
Because why will I trust the third person? The person who started the hashtag. I'm just curious because we have a similar application in our startup, so I'm pretty concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to talk after.
Yeah, sure. No, but in my opinion, if he doesn't do a well job in maintaining his hashtag, if there's not many people want to use it anymore, then he loses. It's his business as well. Every transaction that he makes, it's not the amount that is being put in. It's every transaction he receives money. So he's not. To me, it's. The business logic is it's more important that he keeps a good platform than to just sort of speak for one side. If it's a service provider or a service requester, it doesn't matter. But he will take care of his platform. Don't know if this answers it, but good. Then I hope to see you there in Swarm City. Put a light on when you're getting in. And maybe I'll see you in Slack as well. Just reach out to us. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you all for joining. Was really glad to see you here. You're free, of course, now to continue networking and talking to the presenters and to each other with a glass of beer and a bracelet. Maybe some small information from my side. If you are interested or you have an interesting topic or interesting presenter for the next meetup event, let me know. You can contact me via Meetup. We're always looking for such great presenters and topics like we had today. So you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.